In 2024, J. Jacobs embarked on an extraordinary journey to live for an entire year under the original interpretation of the United States Constitution. This immersive experiment, documented in his book The Year of Living Constitutionally, was inspired by his fascination with the ongoing debate over constitutional interpretation. Jacobs aimed to explore whether the Constitution should be viewed as a living document or strictly adhered to in its original context. Throughout this year, Jacobs adhered to the lifestyle, tools, and mindset of the 18th century, offering a unique and often humorous perspective on the relevance and application of the Constitution in modern times. Jacobs emphasized the importance of voting and civic engagement. In the 18th century, voting was a celebratory event, and Jacobs believes we can recapture some of that spirit in the modern day. A.J. Jacobs' journey began with a commitment to exercise his constitutional rights as they were understood in the 18th century. To honor the Second Amendment, Jacobs armed himself with a 10-pound musket from the 1790s, which quickly became a source of both amusement and trepidation in his daily life. His First Amendment rights were practiced by scratching out pamphlets with a quill pen and distributing them on the street. Instead of virtual meetings, he assembled with others in coffee houses and taverns, mirroring the public gatherings of the era. Jacobs' primary goal was to understand the Constitution by living according to its original interpretations. This quest brought him face to face with the two main schools of constitutional thought, living constitutionalism and originalism. Living constitutionalism advocates for adapting the Constitution's meanings to align with contemporary morals and societal changes. In contrast, originalism argues for interpreting the Constitution based on its original public meaning at the time it was ratified. The Constitution, despite its brevity, is a complex document with no inherent guide on how to interpret its contents. This complexity led Jacobs to seek guidance from a diverse group of constitutional advisors. These advisors, spanning the political spectrum, provided Jacobs with insights into the varied interpretations and applications of the Constitution. He learned that the interpretation of constitutional rights can vary significantly, sometimes narrowly as with Justice Clarence Thomas's view on gay marriage, and other times broadly, as seen in the right to bear arms extending from flintlock muskets to modern AR-15s. Jacobs' commitment to living constitutionally involved adopting the lifestyle of the 18th century, which included wearing woolen leggings, using quill pens, and even attempting to take over his wife's business transactions to experience originalist constraints on women's rights. These efforts highlighted the practical difficulties and absurdities of adhering strictly to historical norms in a modern context. Jacobs' year-long experiment took him to significant historical sites, including the 1765 Morris Jumel Mansion in Manhattan and the National Archives in Washington, D.C. He petitioned Senator Ron Wyden with a scroll, advocating for Benjamin Franklin's idea of having more than one president. These historical immersions reinforced the importance of balance of power and civic responsibility, core principles embedded in the Constitution. After a year of living as an 18th century constitutionalist, Jacobs concluded that while originalism offers a straightforward interpretation method, it is ultimately unbalanced. He argued for a more flexible, balanced approach to constitutional interpretation, incorporating multiple perspectives to address contemporary issues effectively. This balance reflects the founder's own appreciation for checks and balances in governance and personal responsibility. Overall, A.J. Jacobs' Year of Living Constitutionally was a reminder of the importance of this foundational document and the ongoing debate about how to interpret it. It also highlighted the value of critical thinking, open-mindedness, and civic participation. His experiment of living constitutionally in 2024 provided a profound and often entertaining exploration of the United States Constitution. His journey underscored the ongoing relevance and challenges of interpreting this foundational document in a modern context. Jacobs' experience highlighted the importance of civic engagement, open-mindedness, and the need to balance historical principles with contemporary values. Through his unique approach, Jacobs not only gained a deeper understanding of the Constitution but also offered valuable insights for all Americans grappling with its interpretation today.